The update on Kimmel cancellation surges into the news. Hi, I'm Darren Monroe. I used to work on Kamala Harris's engagement campaign, one of 30,000 members. I have 30 years marketing, branding experience. Used to work for Universal, DreamWorks, MCA, and a whole lot of other companies. And basically, what I do is help on this channel take you from chaos to clarity. But obviously, with Kimmel happening, let me point out something important. I have a private group for a reason because Donald Trump is leaning on social media, and having a private protected group, which is in my description and on my homepage, is so important. I have several groups, but the main one I'm telling you to want to get into following this channel is the Clarity group and the Moneymaker group. The Clarity group, I talk about specifically what is going on, the decode of Trump that they won't even let me say on YouTube or any other social media. I get to talk about the 2024 election. I get to talk about Kamala Harris's pathway to success, that she's going to end up becoming president, I believe. My thoughts, my opinion. I also get to talk about the 8 to 9 investigations happening on the Trump administration and what I think is actually happening with that. I get to talk about the Epstein Society in a very candid way that you've never heard before. I just did some things on Charlie Kirk talking about how he doesn't have counterparts on the left and how dangerous that is for us on the left. I just got through doing something on Trump and the media and his attack on the media and why actually that's a good thing. So you want to get in on the real news where people aren't being blocked off and intimidated, and I can speak freely in a private community that's safe. Get into my Clarity group. The price is going to triple in value because right now you get in, it's at a steal. Click the link and get in there. The reason I keep pushing this is so important because what just happened with Kimmel is a perfect example. You know, because, oh, well, you promote too much. Listen, understand this. I don't do free. I can't keep my lights on for free no more than you can. And I'm doing this in a way that helps support it. And if you don't have the money, it's cool. Don't project your poverty out there. Oh, Darren, I don't have the money. Just subscribe here. Let me break down some things to you in this Kimmel thing. This was obviously a money move. And it was blatant. And what I say in my Clarity group under the 8 investigations of Trump, what I clearly point out to people is, yo, the number one thing that's going to get them caught up, other than deportations, they might be close with each other, neck and neck, is grifting. This was a straight up grift. Somebody got some money in their meme coin. This was a grift. This was a head nod. They had billions of dollars tied into it, and they didn't want to fuck up their billions of dollars, so they said, okay, Kimmel, we're going to put you to the side. And I'm going to tell you right now, Kimmel is in a perfect position right now because Hollywood, as well as everybody else, has come out fighting because, I mean, he didn't say anything bad. Basically, the man just pointed out how Donald Trump, you want to talk about arrogance, how Donald Trump was not even answering the press's questions about Charlie Kirk. Hey, you really upset about Charlie Kirk? Oh, we're going to have a big ballroom over here. We're going to block. Either A, he's checked out mentally, or B, he doesn't care, or C, both. I think we're talking C, right? Here's the other thing you got to do that's behind this. And keep listening to what I'm saying here. The thing that I train in the Clarity group is how to look through the narrative warfare that's going on that he is with you over and over and over on. Do not get sideswiped by this. You're so hard on defending Jimmy Kimmel. Let's defend Epstein's list. Let's defend shutdown. Let's defend gerrymandering. Let's defend No King's Day. ESGN. 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 Hands down. Hands down. I want you to understand this Kimmel stuff. Kimmel will be okay. The man's worth tens of millions of dollars. He'll be all right. Plus, he got a potential lawsuit. There was a rumor going on he was going to sue Disney. For his First Amendment rights. He got the first, he's got his rights to speak. And he didn't do anything vulgar or wrong. All he did was point out exactly what the president said. And my point is this. They're coming for Kimmel. Well, they've been coming for people for some time now, haven't they? Katie Fang, Joy Reid, my girl Joy Reid is out. There's a whole list of them. Matt Dow lost his stuff just by saying that Charlie Kirk brought on that energy based on the talk and the rhetoric he did. He didn't say anything wrong. But what I'm saying to you is that if Kimmel loses the job, that's going to be a no-brainer. That's going to be a no-brainer. He'll have an independent platform he'll make way more money on anyway. Just like Joy Reid did, and Don Lemon, and all these other people who come in, Jim Acosta, and Katie Fang. Oh, it's on. It's on. But here's the other thing. And we need more. We need more. I have another thing I did in the Clarity Group called Why Charlie Kirk Has No Left Counterpart. We need more left independent media. So fuck MSNBC and CNN and all of them. We need more left independent media anyway, okay? I'm saying. So what I'm also telling you, in this whole thing that's going on with Jimmy Kimmel, he's going to be all right. He's going to be more than all right, one way or another. But here's the other thing that's happening. They're like, well, they're getting rid of free speech. You're getting rid of... They've been working on that for a time now. But here's the thing. They've been trying to suppress this for a while. Why? ESGN. If they can get your outrage about Kimmel, they'll forget about, maybe you forget about Epstein. Not. Maybe you forget about the shutdown that the Democrats supposed to be standing with. Not. Maybe you'll forget about the gerrymandering that's happening that we could possibly whip their ass in. Not. Or maybe you'll forget about No King's Day, which is coming up October 18th. Get on NoKingsDay.org, NoKings.org, or NoKingsDay.org, Indivisible.org, who's sponsored it. Get behind that movement. And because if you forget about this stuff, he could come in with firing Jimmy Kimmel or influencing any damn way he could. What outrage can he create to misdirect you? It's at the beginning and the end of the week. The beginning and the end of the week. This was a surprise when it happened with the executives, so it wasn't necessarily directly from Trump, but this is the beginning and the end of the week. That's what he does. If he can get the beginning and the end. Let me tell you what he's done for the last 34 weeks. We're going into 34 weeks. What this man has done has been, I'm going to tell you, has been terror, scare the hell out of you, throw up your anxiety, throw up all of your alarmism. See, we got a problem on the left. We're dealing with ACD. You ever heard of ACD? You have now. We need to watch out for ACD. Go unsubscribe from all ACD. What's ACD? I'm going to break it down to you. Alarmists, conspirators, and doomsday. The alarmists are the ones, breaking news. Oh my God, Trump is killing, he's killing everything. Oh my God. That's the one that's giving you the stroke, giving you the anxiety, giving you the stress. You better get the fuck over to my Clarity Group. Real talk. Real talk. You need some calm down, then calm down. Because that's what I'm working with hundreds of people on. Right now I got about 170 people in. We had a total of 340 people, but we created a new site. So we're transferring people over. Man, there's nothing else like this. They'll tell you that. They'll tell you that. You'll love it. Okay? And it's at a deal right now. Price gonna triple. Yesterday's prices ain't gonna be tomorrow's prices. I'm telling you, right now they are trying to alarm you like crazy, the alarmists. Fuck them. Then they have, and you know who they are. I don't need to mention any key names. You probably got alarmists you following right now who every time they say, oh my God, everything is happening, oh my God. Then you got the second group, the conspiracy people. The conspiracy people are completely full of shit. The conspiracy people are nuts. The conspiracy people are going down the rabbit hole every day with the election, with everything. Oh, I acknowledge the election. I talk about that in the Clarity Group. But I also talk about where do we go from here. Because it ain't just about, oh, well, they'll find the numbers. They'll discover, no, motherfucker. What happens here? I have a report out right now that you can get access to. It's called The 8 Different Trump Investigations, and one of which is, of course, the election. And then I'm talking about the 2024 election separately in another report. My point is, stop freaking the fuck out over everything and stop listening to conspiracy theories because they will misdirect your energy when you need to be focused on ESGN. ESGN, Epstein shutdown, gerrymandering, and no King's Day. We need to be focused. Keep sharing videos like this over and over so they can grab that. Here's the other thing. The D is doomsday. So we got alarmists going, ah! We got the conspiracies. Oh my God. Here's the deep rabbit hole of the secret. Like the ones who were sitting there looking at the people behind Charlie Kirk when he got shot. Talking about, you see what he was doing like this with his hands and stuff? Don't believe that shit. Do I believe that Charlie Kirk got set up? Sure. Do I believe it could have been a lone nut? Yes. Do I believe it could have been a government? Yes. But I do not believe people doing hand signal behind. Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on. I could be wrong, but it's like that's a little bit down the rabbit hole. Next thing you know, you got the tinfoil hats on. Come on. Come on. But here's the thing I do want you to understand is that these doomsday people will fucking give you a heart attack. It's the end of democracy. It's the end of the world as we know it. Ah! And I'm like, no, it's not. It is not the end of the world. There's a law of polarity. Look it up. Law of polarity. Polarity. Nothing's all bad. Nothing's all good. Well, Darren, what's the good side of this? Well, I got plenty of videos on here. I keep talking about good news, Kamala Harris. I'm going to make you feel good and understand what's really going on. So pay attention, my fellow liberals and leftists. So here's where I go with that. First of all, the alarmism is bullshit because they don't have any context or opinion. Don't have to be my opinion, but they have no opinion. So they're weak as hell. Unsubscribe from them. Second of all, the conspiracy theorist people are, many times full of shit. They're bringing you non-factless information. The bomb and this and that happened, and they don't have any go-to-work action that you need to focus on other than contact your Congress or, I'm not knocking contacting Congress, but let's go with some real facts. What is developing? Who's fighting back? There are 3 different groups fighting back. I'll tell you after I'm done with this. Then there's the doomsday who says, it's the end of democracy. It's over. These are the ones who know not a fucking thing about their own damn country and how the government runs. Do you realize this is not America? These are the United States of America. And even the red states are getting filled up with this shit. I mean, that big, beautiful bill is fucking them more than they are blue states. On top of that, you have Trump trying to tell them to get rid of mail-in ballots. What? Red states are like, no, Mr. President, we run the election. We're going to get rid of what we want to get rid of. Then you have situations where, and this is important to pay attention to. We have situations right now where the United States government through Trump is trying to cut off certain forms of media, as we just talked about with Kimmel, right? And influence them. But he's doing it in a grift-like way, right in front of the whole world. I mean, plain in front of the eye. Trump's people think that they won't go to jail. No, seriously. They think that they will not go to jail. And the law says they will. There's only temporary time clock. The good news is that he's tyranny with a time clock. I know you're upset. We got another 174 weeks to go of this fool, and it seems absolutely nuts. And it seems like he'll just take over and destroy the country. But don't listen to the seam. Listen to the truth. There are 3 groups fighting back. The 23 governors and attorney generals have been fighting back for the last 34 weeks. And winning. Right now, his score, again, I keep bringing this up, in temporary injunctions, permanent injunctions, state injunctions, or national injunctions and actual cases, out of 160 plus cases, is really coming down almost 170. He's only won 30 something. He's not winning. And what he wants you to think is the other way around. He's 130 and 30. No, he's 30 and 130. Just like the rest of his career. Why are you freaked out over this man? Yes, of course he came for Jimmy Kimmel. Jimmy Kimmel saw that a mile away. So did Colbert. And so did the others. They knew what was up. They knew what was up. So what can you go and do other than reach out to your Congress, connect with No King's Day? That's one thing. Get on indivisible.org. Join ACLU. That's another thing you can join. If you want to do protest, great. But if you don't, or if you black and you like in your feelings because of what happened with the election, I understand. Here's what I suggest everybody do. Whether you're doing any things I just mentioned, you should be sharing videos that talk about stuff like that. Like this one. And like anybody else or any of my other videos, I got thousands of them. That the idea is share them and share with other people who are decoding the ACDs. The alarmist, conspiracists, and doomsday people will give you a freaking heart attack, and they're hurting your family. They're hurting your loved ones. They're not keeping them focused, and they're stressing them the fuck out. Facts. Facts. I want you to understand a bigger picture of this too. That no matter how crazy this may seem and how stressed you might be about it, there's a bigger end game to this. There's a bigger end game to this. See, we're on a marathon right now. And in the marathon, we're up against sprinters. Sprinters ain't going to win in no marathon. They know they only have so much time. They know they're in trouble. Why are they gerrymandering if they don't think they're in trouble? Why are they trying to kill the census in the middle of it's never been done before? Why are they trying to shut down and fire people on labor statistics? Why are they trying to change the data? Why are they trying to move over and get rid of companies to do quarterly reports? Why? Why? Because they're trying to manipulate the game. And we see them. They're doing it right in front of us. It's like watching somebody steal out the cash register at your job and you're like, really? Really? My point is this. They're not going to get away with this forever. There will be a change of parties. There will be a new election. He's going to try to create as much hell about it as possible. But here's the thing, tactic known, tactic blown. People know what he's going to do. They see him coming 1,000 miles away. All of us. And I want you to understand the bigger picture of this. We're going to make it through this. We're going to kick his ass in the 2026 and the 2028. But in between that, let's focus. Because people come at me all the time in my comments. Yeah, but wait until 2026. I'm like, no, bitch. ESGN. Right now, we need to focus on Epstein. Right now, we need to focus on the shutdown. Right now, we need to focus on gerrymandering. Right now, we need to focus on No King's Day. And with No King's Day, the thing we need to do that they didn't do after June 14th, the first No King's Day, is market the shit out of it. Because that man was brilliant in what he did to make that disappear. He came out with, I might bomb Iran. I may bomb Iran. I'm going to bomb Iran. You know what? I bombed Iran. And now let's make peace. I mean, he did that shit in 7 days. It was brilliant. And the reason I say brilliant is, again, 30 years marketing branding. I got to give credit where credit's due. But we can beat them. We got the numbers. We got to keep the messaging on point. Because if you just sit here and look at what happened to Kimmel and the latest of Kimmel, we can't get away from Epstein. Not for the sake of those victims. And those victims are now going to come out with their own list. Bravo. Bravo. I'm so glad that they got together. They tried to work with their government. Fuck it. Come out with the list. Come out with it. That's a list I'll trust. I don't give a fuck what they say in the government saying they're going to release the list. Even if they said they do it. You see what they tried to do, give you 97% the same stuff over and over. And Garcia, who, by the way, I want to give a congressperson a compliment because I haven't given many this year. Garcia, who's head of the oversight, found that out quickly and busted them out and called out them, called out the White House, called out the House of Representatives. And the FBI was like, okay, what's up? Where the real files at? No, y'all got more than that. See, they're covering a society, and I cover this in my Clarity group too. There's a society out there. I call it the Epstein Society. And the most dangerous part about it, it's not all people. My opinion, but it looks like only about a third of that is really the people being kidnapped. The girls and children, boys and girls being kidnapped. The most dangerous thing isn't some secret Albanian gang out kidnapping or out, or what was the one in Taken? I thought it was either Albanian or the other one with the A that falls out all the time with Turkey. But Armenians, yeah, it's one of the two. Forgive me, my fellow Armenian Albanians. I'm not trying to hate. I'm just saying, it's not always that case. In fact, you guys will love me saying this. The biggest farming of little women and children are within our own nation, white-blooded Americans. Majority white, some black, some brown, but majority white Americans are proud to be an American. And then next thing you know, they're grooming. This weekend, I'm doing part 4. I did a 3-part series on the Epstein Society in the Clarity Group. I'm doing part 4 and part 5 this weekend, talking about grooming. There's grooming in there that's happening. And the way it's happening, and part 5 is going to be about military. There's something about the military you ain't heard yet. You ain't even prepared to hear. There's a reason. There's a history why we got a bunch of bases around the world, how we got them, and what we're doing with them. Because there's a lot of stuff moving. There's a history of that. Women, guns, drugs, money. So let me get to you on number 4. Number 4 is Grooming Inc. And that's within white-blooded American cities, sundown town, the whitest of the white. And it's happening in neighborhoods, yours too. I'm trying to tell you, it's happening where this grooming is going on in this society. That's why we need to be focused for them, for the victims, for those people. And then we need to be focused on the shutdown. Because for once, the Democratic Congress, yes, Schumer too, are sitting there ready to shut it down. They shut it down. They can't do all this stupid stuff with ICE and troop movements. That just shuts down the money. Boom. They need to get solid. Shut it down so we can get these health care benefits back that they took from the big, beautiful bill. And then the gerrymandering is there so we can get the 2026 election, make sure we got a majority in the House. That's what the whole gerrymandering is about. It's not about Senate. It's about how do we get in there for the House. That's the real big move. Since Texas kicked it off with Trump. The other thing we need to do is focus on that No King's Day and make sure we market it, not just as it builds up, but afterwards. That's where they dropped the ball. Afterwards, they lost the momentum to, I might bomb Iran. Do not let Kimmel get in the middle of this. Kimmel's going to be all right. You're going to hear about it left and right, but don't be bamboozled by this shit. Don't. Get in my group, get some help. I'm not just sitting there, promote my group. Here's the thing. I had to make it private because all of the social medias won't let me make it public. That's what I'm trying to tell you. But I'm making it exclusive because I'm telling you right now, I'm getting ready to take it to the next level. We're going into Clarity Group 2.0, Moneymaker 2.0. How do we take it to the next level? Moneymaker is about you making some money. The Clarity Group is about you having a clear head and being able to move forward. That's what this is really about. Don't get tied up on this BS. Stay focused. Stay doing what you need to do. Did I earn your subscription at least? I hope so. We're going to be all right. We going to make it. We going to make it. Don't believe that bull they talking. Those alarmists, those conspiracies, those doomsday. Unsubscribe from them people. Unsubscribe.